program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Speaks Clam Bar is an award-winning family-owned restaurant with 2 locations in Florida's Gulf Coast, Lakewood Ranch and St. Armand's Circle. A New York-style Italian clam bar, Speaks offers fresh, house-made pasta with homemade marinara sauce that runs on 3 speeds, sweet, medium, and hot. A wide variety of delicious, fresh seafood, craft cocktails, all joyfully served in Prohibition-style decor, have made Speaks Clam Bar a favorite destination for locals and visitors alike. Our unique approach to accommodating guests with dietary restrictions has made Speaks one of the favorite among doctors and health enthusiasts. Bring your family and friends to Speaks today or get takeout. Our teams are always happy to welcome you.
Welcome to the Business Kitchen Show, where every week we'll be cooking up some fun recipes to help you succeed in business. Our guests will be sharing time-tested and delicious business recipes, as well as some new cutting-edge ones. Every recipe has a story, and every chef adds their own unique flavor to the dish. Just like each business strategy has its own story, and owners work hard to make their mark. Here at the Business Kitchen, you can be sure to find your own recipe for success.
Hello, happy Thursday, and welcome to today's episode of the Business Kitchen Show. I'm Natalia Levy, and I will be your host for today. Here at the Business Kitchen, we encourage you to look for the solutions outside the traditional recipe box. Just as usual, we invite you to watch the show live on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Business Kitchen Show. I am so excited about today's episode. I would love for you to welcome my guest. Today is Ashley Cates. Ashley is a 35-year-old Army wife and a mother of 2. She has a 5-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son. She has owned her business for about 5 years, and what started as a personal challenge has grown into the passion to change the way women's bodies are managed prenatally and postpartum. As a mom myself, I can totally relate to what she's doing. Ashley's mission is to empower women through healing their core, pelvic floor, and reminding them that their bodies are not broken, but capable of incredible things when given the space and tools to do so. That is such a powerful mission. Ashley, welcome to Business Kitchen Show. We're so happy to see you.
Thank you. I am so thrilled to be here and be able to speak this mission to the world.
Where are you coming in from? Where are you joining us from?
I am in Lexington, South Carolina right now.
How is the weather up there?
It's actually kind of gloomy. It's rainy and overcast, but it's been beautiful the past few days. It's been nice and cool in the mornings, cool in the evenings, and not too terribly sweat-worthy during the day.
Well, then it's on us to bring in some sunshine to people's lives, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Ashley, we have quite a sensational opener for you. So,
Okay.
you opened your fitness studio on March 14th, and then we all know what happened. The pandemic, the closures. So you had to close your studio on March 16th. What in the world was going through your mind?
Initially I sort of felt like, okay, this is just a 2-week thing and it'll give me some more time to get my processes in order, get some paint up on the walls and organize my equipment. And then when I realized it was going to move into April and then March, I started to feel incredibly discouraged. I felt as if my mission was meant to be. I felt that the women of Lexington and really the world needed what I had to offer, and to have that door shut in my face before I even had a chance to see if it could do anything was incredibly discouraging, to say the least.
Oh, I cannot even imagine to be in that mental state. And but let's get back to the origin story of your business. So you must have had the drive, you must have had the passion, you must have had all of these qualities that you possess that are special ingredients just for you of your business. What did you have to lean on? What kind of state did you have to, of mind did you have to get into to say, okay, look, this is a lot bigger than me. This is much, uh, this is the kind of situation that I can utilize right now and build on my passion and create a bigger mission statement than just, and not worry about having the door closed and just keep going. What were those motivating factors for you?
That's a really wonderful question. I think the very first thing for me is I had to get out of myself. I had to remember that my business wasn't about me. And secondly, I'm a Christian, that I serve a God that's bigger than a pandemic. And at the end of the day, my bills will get paid one way or another. So I had to get out of myself. I had to get out of my emotions, stop playing victim, stop being sad, discouraged, upset. And I needed to realize that women are hurting more during this pandemic than they did before. And just because what I thought my plan was supposed to be, just because what I thought it was supposed to look like didn't work out, didn't mean I wasn't needed, didn't mean I couldn't succeed, didn't mean my business couldn't thrive. It just meant that I had to take a step back and reevaluate what that path to serving my community of women was going to look like. So taking my emotion out of it and remembering that there are women that are hurting, they're suffering, they're being told that they're broken, and that my goal is to change that narrative. The pathway is a variable, not the mission.
I love that. I love that you said to take my own emotion out of the way. Now, we have two family restaurants, and the same thing. I had to say, okay, this is nothing to do with you. Forget any time off. You have over 100 employees, that team members that you have to worry about, and it's the same thing. When we sort of say, okay, I feel how I feel, and it might be difficult for me, might be challenging for me at the moment, but to make that switch when you say you are creating something bigger, you are responsible for other people, and you are here to help and inspire others, that's when the all the fear almost goes away, right?
Yeah, the fear actually turns into motivation, because when you realize that fear is a lie and other women are being lied to and they're believing the lie, and it's like, it really just motivated me to work harder and to find ways to keep reaching them and serving them, because I don't want to be lied to. I don't like feeling the way I feel. So why would I give up and let other women feel that way? That's just selfish and victim of me, and that's not who I am.
So let me ask you a question. How did you figure out what to do? Did you have to ask for help? Did you go to your community and say, like, hey, you guys, how do you want me to teach these classes? Or did you hire a business coach? What was your path? Or did you figure it all out by yourself?
Um, well, there are three things that I think were the most important factors in me, not just maintaining myself through the pandemic, but actually getting to a place where we're thriving. And the first is, yes, I got help, because you don't know what you don't know. And oftentimes as entrepreneurs, we can be stuck and limited in what we believe we should be doing, what we want to do, our path, our spreadsheets. And we need to step out of ourselves, even the emotions. Like, we are limited with the lens that we have to view our business. And what I realize is we seek help in our marriages. We seek help with our kids, especially parents right now with their children being taught virtually. We seek help in every aspect of our lives. I don't know how to navigate a pandemic. I'm a young business owner. I got help. I did what
Yeah.
everyone would tell you not to do. I invested money in a business strategist, and she said, Ashley, these are things that you could be doing. And I was like, oh my goodness, how did I not realize that? Because my lens was limited by emotions, by what I thought the plan had to be. And all of a sudden, those restrictions that the pandemic put on me were gone. And I could fly and I could serve, and women's lives kept changing. It was, if no one gets anything from this, it's find someone that you mesh with, hire them, spend the money. Something that she said to me is, if you don't invest in your business, no one else will. And in a time
Oh,
when a
that's so
pandemic
true.
is occurring, it's true. Like, if we want to be cheap with ourselves, people are going to view us as cheap. And I don't view what I do as worthless, so I'm going to invest in myself and my business, and so I can grow. And I
I can so relate to that. I can so relate to that because I actually just did a Facebook post yesterday that, I've been in this country for 21 years. I'm originally from Russia, as you can probably detect a little bit of an accent there. And over in the time that I have been here, I've always believed in investing in myself. I shared in my post that I have taken over 70 online courses. I've invested in business coaches, and I've invested in myself, in self-growth, and like you said, expanding that lens and seeing at myself, looking at myself from the perspective of somebody else, because like you said, you don't know what you don't know, and somebody can really give you sometimes the advice that could be so simple, but that can really get you going. And that is another reason why we have the show. The show is to show people, is to share stories and give different ideas of what did the other business owners have done for themselves. How did they learn? How did they pivot? How did they find that secret ingredient, what for their secret sauce for their business? So now you said that you had three things. So getting help, getting a business coach was the first thing for you. What were the next?
Yeah, so finding the coach was really the number one for me. But secondly, it was listening to my audience, polling them, asking them, what do you need right now? What do you want right now? But then, and this is really the most important part of this, is listening to not just what they're saying, but how they're speaking. I think as business owners, and I'm coming from my own perspective, I can get stuck in that narrative of how I feel I should be communicating, the programs I should be delivering, the graphics I should be posting. And oftentimes it leads to a miscommunication and it turns people off because they're being talked to, not with. And so when I ask my audience, what do you need from me? How can I serve you? And I did it without looking for something back. I genuinely just wanted to love the women because that's something that I needed during this pandemic. And then
Sure,
I
sure.
responded that way. I used the same terminology they used. I made sure that
Mm-hmm.
I so many detailed questions. It's just like with a toddler, right? Or your kids.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need from me when they're having an emotional experience? How can I support you? Do you need it done this way? Do you need it done that way? What about that don't you like? And then
Mm-hmm.
serving them in that capacity. That was
Sure,
a
sure.
huge.
Right. So let
Go
me
ahead.
ask you a question. That with when serving your audience, I know with our businesses we do a lot of that. What tools do you use? How do you communicate with your audience? What are some of the most effective ways do you communicate them with them through social media, newsletters? Can you share what is that what has been most effective for you?
What I have found is social media. I think all businesses have their different modalities with which they communicate well. Some people prefer email, some people prefer their websites and blogs, and some people prefer Facebook posts, Facebook stories, Instagram stories,
Sure.
or Messenger. What I found connects the best with my niche, which is moms, women, is social media, posting to the stories, sending them private messages. My audience is small enough, I would say, that I can get really personal, that myself and my trainers can get really personal and check in and say, how are you doing today? How can I help you? And really, if you just spend 20 minutes twice a day, you can run out 10, 20 messages a day and really make people feel loved on. And I think for me, for sure, social media, posting in groups, asking questions, responding to them, not just dropping it and running away, but being active and showing them that I am a person, I'm not a robot, and I'm with them.
And I think that there's so much beauty in that. So when you think about communicating with customers, what you just said is to really create that very intimate connection in a way where that they don't feel like there's this large corporation behind something, behind the business, that there's a real person, there's a real mom, you're an army wife, you had kids, you are so relatable. So for business owners, think about what those are those points that you can connect to and connect on such a human level so that other people don't feel like you're just sending them promotions. No, it's just like can you express a genuine care even if they don't buy from you? How can you become a part of their life in a way? How can you really understand what their pain is, and how can you show empathy and compassion and kindness through reaching out? Because these people are going to, even if they don't buy from you now, but they're going to feel like you're a genuine person and your team really truly cares about the community. And with that, I have a question for you, Ashley. So you created your entire brand around a community, around having women come together. Can you share a little bit about that?
Um, yeah, so what I realized after I had my daughter, I thought that going into motherhood was going to be this kumbaya thing where we all sat together and we just loved and supported each other, and I was really wrong. I discovered that everything, it's just like high school. You have the ones who do this with their medical decisions, the ones who do this, the cry it out, the sleep in the bed, the bottle, the breast, the public school, the private school, the homeschool, and it was really divisive. And what I discovered was it left me feeling incredibly alone, and it left me feeling like my decisions were wrong. Even though they were right for my family, I felt wrong. And I really desired community, and I desired to create that. And I really feel like it's time for women. I mean, the whole nation, honestly, with the political climate going on, but women specifically, mothers, to throw that aside. I don't like to be judged. And my life is hard enough. Being a mother is hard. And really, what we all want is to feel accepted, valued, and appreciated. And I want a space where women can come and feel that way and not be afraid or ashamed to share their questions and their choices on the hard topics. Instead, they get unbiased, quality information that affirms that they're doing the right thing for their kid and they're in the right place and they're going to be amazing moms. In fact, they are already.
Oh, that is so beautiful. And it is such a powerful message. And I'm a mom myself. I have a 16-year-old who is now driving, which is, there's a positive and a like, oh my God, my 16-year-old is driving. But, uh, to have that community, I've always felt that that is so important, no matter what stage in life you are. It is so important to have a space where you can go in and not be judged. So now I'm in massive business world and communities, and also at the same time, it's so important for me to have those two or three people in and have those daily accountability calls or something, some kind of support. I think that the power of community is so underestimated these days.
I would agree with you. And I think it's heightened also with the pandemic. Women are literally sitting at home all day with their kids. Their husbands or even them are at home. There's a lot of conflict and there's a lot of criticism. And it's just, we were created to be communal creatures. We long for and yearn to feel supported. And I'm just kind of tired of people not being that way.
Yes. So Ashley, tell us a little bit. So what is your business model? So you teach classes online. How does it work? Is this something like a gym? What is your community? What does your business look like?
That is a wonderful question, and it's mildly complicated. Initially, when I started my business, it was heel and seal only. It was core and pelvic floor work that I myself created with a test group and over a series of months. And all of that was in person. I really didn't have a desire to make it virtual. I felt that every woman's body is so unique. It needs a specific, unique touch. It's just like with personal training, or if you've ever gone to physical therapy, you can have two people with the exact same surgery, and there's so many variables going into it that you need that intuitive personal connection. So for the first 4 years of my business, it was pretty much in person. And then I started doing FaceTime or Zoom appointments with Heal and Seal, but it was always one-on-one. During the pandemic, I shifted to doing virtual, but I still maintain that personal connection so they could watch videos and learn how to do it online, but I still had one-on-one appointments. And then the studio was meant to be an expansion of that community that I've been talking about, where we do help women with their fitness, with their nutrition, and also have a networking community where they come in and do workshops. Like we're doing one this Saturday on autoimmune disease, and we offer lactation support, and we have networks with chiropractors, with pelvic floor physical therapists, with OBGYN. So we've transitioned from just Heal and Seal in person to virtual, and now we also have the studio where it's in person, and we're moving towards being able to stream all of our classes within the next month or two.
Oh, I think this is fantastic. So, isn't it incredible how you have taken this situation and completely pivoted your business model to something that might I hope and I wish you all the luck in the world, and I hope that it'll grow into a tremendous community and really gain attention of everybody around the country and the world. So do you have with that? So when you think of the large brands, whether it be a fitness brand or another brand in business, is there anybody that inspires you?
Yes. So I created my program before I even knew this one business existed. It took me a long time to get on Instagram because it's just overwhelming. But I discovered a place called the Bloom Method, and I believe she's in Colorado. Her last name is also Kate, ironically. But what she's doing is fascinating. She's really changing the narrative that's out there when it comes to the way women's bodies are being treated. And she's gone from, diastasis recti and pelvic floor is a dysfunction, it's a disorder, to no, this is something that your body goes through and it can be healed. There's also, and she's very body positive. What I love is that she has different shapes and sizes in her videos on her Instagram feed. And I think that's beautiful because no, women's bodies aren't meant to look any particular way other than the
Sure.
way the woman is. That's it. And then the other person is Anthony Lowe. He is a physiotherapist out of Australia. And the way that he communicates to women and about women is so empowering. It's like, you go to your doctor and they say, okay, you have a prolapse, your only solution is surgery, you're broken. Like, sorry, this is what happened. And he's like, no, this is something that has happened. And it's just the way that your body has adapted to pregnancies. And let's figure out a way that you can continue the things you want to do without having to have surgery if that's a possibility for you. And if you have to have surgery, we're going to make your body as strong and functional as possible, that it's only going to be a little bit of a thing for you. And it's beautiful to see people communicating to women in a way that doesn't reaffirm the narrative they already have that there's something wrong with them.
Yes,
No, like,
it's so important for us to continue to empower other people. And Ashley, I thank you so much. You shared such invaluable lessons with us today. I do hope that you get to collaborate with people who inspire you, and I wish that all of us we keep going and we keep trying to find that inspiration, and we keep trying to share things that work for us, because we never know what works for us might work for somebody else. Ashley, I thank you so much for being on the show with us today. Where can people find you?
I am on Facebook or Instagram with Mommy, Mom plus ME Strong, or I have a website, mommystrongllc.com, or you can just find me on Facebook and message me, Ashley Case. My name's right there. I'm happy to have a conversation with anybody.
Ashley, you are fantastic. Thank you so much. Keep doing the amazing work that you do. I'm so grateful to have had you on the show today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for tuning into today's show. We have learned so many incredible tips from Ashley, from getting help, investing in yourself. Sometimes we need to remove our own emotions because there's a bigger picture, there's a bigger message, there's somebody who needs to hear our story and to hear your story. And that's what we here at the Business Kitchen are doing. We're sharing stories, we're sharing tips, we're sharing ingredients to keep helping you as a business, to keep finding those solutions. And because we want to see you thrive, we want to see you do well, and we want to connect with you. So please find us on Facebook, follow us on social media. I can't wait to see your comments at the end of the show, and we will see you next Thursday. Now, let me give you a little bit of heads up about the guests that we are having on that next show next week. Her name is Rita Lohman, and she's the president of Pilot Bank. She has been an inspiration for me personally for a long time, and I cannot wait to have the most inspirational conversation with her. I'll see you next week.
Healthy Intent inspires you to live a healthier life. It's so easy to bump health down the priority list behind the business phone calls, family commitments, and, let's face it, anything else, until we are diagnosed with something that forces us to make a change. Their online Healthy Cooking Academy has incredible classes that will help you make significant progress in your kitchen, whether cooking for yourself or your family. Or you can subscribe to Healthy Intent YouTube channel for quick tips and more fun recipes. We all want to look better, feel better, and have more energy for life and business. Start every day with Healthy Intent and follow them at healthyintent.com.
You've been listening to The Business Kitchen Show. Tune in each week for saucy interviews with business owners and to pick up fresh ingredients for your business success. The conversation continues after each episode on the Business Kitchen Show Facebook page. For the full show menu, visit businesskitchenshow.com.